we talk about the liberal arts, and it essentially comes back from a Greek concept over 3,000 years ago, where they said to become a full person or a full citizen, any educated person needs to know grammar, rhetoric, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. Astronomy was more or less physics or science in those days. So the thinking is actually, the term liberal arts today we tend to think focuses very narrowly on the arts, but actually expresses all non-technical, non-directly professional areas. And so we at Ashoka look at a variety of courses, from computer science to philosophy to economics to physics to life sciences, etc. I think what a liberal arts and science education tries to give is to allow for both of these problems to be solved. That you get exposure to a variety of areas before you choose what you really want to major in, rather than from school directly saying, I want to be a civil engineer. And secondly, that in the process of your undergraduate program, you learn a variety of topics, perspectives, and thought. There is not enough thinking, challenging, fresh perspectives that you are expected to come up with. That is unfortunately true even in some of our, arts and sciences colleges as well. Right? So I think what Ashoka tries to do is to allow our students to be curious and critical. To be curious about what they are learning, so they don't just take it for granted. Critical because they bring their own thinking, they debate, they challenge. It's not about examinations, it's about a dialogue they bring up. Why is this, I think, critical for even from a very narrow perspective of job opportunities, that we think that these courses can actually equip you in some ways even better than a technological university or a vocational program? There are, I would say, three reasons for this. The first is, if you look at what is happening in the 21st century today, the only constant is change, right? Things, what was relevant 15 years ago, the world of the iPods, the world of the VCDs, is history. From their communication courses, they'll be able to think through how to communicate this kind of thing. So the ability to adapt to a changing world, I think, is one reason why the Ashoka model works. The second is our education is very experiential. It is not textbook oriented, as Vinny talked about earlier. It's all about working with your peers on projects, debating, discussing, working on internships, working in the communities, which all of it they do. So there's a very good sense of teamwork, the so-called soft skills, communication skills, that our Ashokan students pick up, in many ways far more than many other places. That's another unique thing which positions them well in a job where you have to work with others, where you have to understand and be sensitive to other people's concerns. Second part of the problem of our graduates is, while intellectually they are good, they have not really learned how to challenge, how to critically question. So, when things are changing, if you're in a company or an organization, you have to think about what is likely to happen 2 years from now, 6 months from now, not just do what I did 20 years ago. So we need young people who don't just follow the beaten path, but can think outside it. And I think the last is really making sure that the student body who go out into the real world, whether they go to the Oxfords or the Harvards, which is for higher studies, or whether they go out, set up their own enterprise, or they join the corporate or social sector organizations, helping them make a real difference in the world. That would be our last sort of growth plan. Vineet, would you like to add?